I know you're gonna dig this.
This is Rhine McLin, host of the Funk Music Hall of Fame and Exhibition Center's Funk Chronicles Talk Back, recorded live here at DATV Studios in Dayton, Ohio. And now my studio guest is Micheal Christopher Jackson, keyboardist extraordinaire, music director for Jodeci, Mary J. Blige, and the Gap Band.
That's right.
Welcome.
Welcome.
How you doing?
I'm doing good.
I'm so glad you're here to be with us
glad
on Talk Back.
to be here.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
You know, there's so many questions I have to ask you, and this is really all about you. I'm just trying to facilitate information. I'm being nosy. Well, of course, we can't say that. We're going to say I'm inquisitive. And I'm not going to say that. I'm just going to say I'm trying to get you to be informative. So here we go.
Okay.
Tell me, how did you get started in the music business?
Well, that is just, the whole thing with me getting started, it's a birthright. I was born into the music business. My father, my mother, you know, that kind of thing. I grew up in a musical family and stuff, and you know, I've been playing just all my life. I've never not known when I didn't play. You know, I've always played, so, you know, since I was born, you know, so.
So you've been what we call a child prodigy.
I guess, if that's what you want to call it.
Yeah,
you know
yeah. And so you're from Akron, Ohio?
I'm from Akron.
Okay.
Yes, Akron,
so
Ohio.
tell me, how did you meet up with Jodeci, and how did all that come about?
Oh man, I met Jodeci in Akron, Ohio. I was coming home from work, my little job I had, and I was walking through downtown Akron early in the morning. I just got off my job, and I was walking through the city, and coming up through downtown the streets, and there was no cars outside. It was just empty. It was just, I'm looking at the city like, wow, man, nothing happened. So I'm walking up the street, and I'm walking towards Akron Civic Theater, and I see on the marquee it said, tonight, Jodeci. And I'm like, who's that? You know, so, okay. So out of nowhere, a blue car turns the corner and comes down the street, and it's full of my boys. Hey, Mike, man, we need you to help us. I'm like, where did they come from? It's like a movie. So I get in the car with them. We go around the back of the building. We go through the backstage. We sneak in every show. So we snuck in to check them out, to let them hear their demo tape. But they wanted me to fix it so we can come back to the hotel that night later on. So make a long short, we went and fixed the little songs that they had. And we went.
Now these are your group.
My little buddies. No, they just see me. They know what I do, and they just was like,
okay,
you know,
so
Mike,
these
we
are
need your
just
help.
your homies, right?
Just my homies.
Okay.
Yeah. Derek Fromby, Tricky. You know what I'm saying? You know, he played a big part in this. You know what I'm saying? A really good big part. So, you know, after that we went in, we saw them, we spoke to them, and Devontae was on stage. They were sound checking on that first Forever My Lady album, and he was like, hey man, will you guys come back tonight, and I want to hear some of your stuff. So we went home and fixed what we did, and I helped them out a little bit. And just so happens I never bring any of my music outside. I never let anybody really hear none of my originals. But that day, I happened to have a tape in my pocket. I don't know how it got there, because I don't do that. But I went and let Devontae hear them first, and he listened to their stuff, and he's talking to them, and he turns to me, he says, okay, what do you have? I said, me? He said, yeah. I said, well, I got this tape. And I played the tape, man, and he grooved into it. I had just got home from California. I had moved to California, and that went crazy. It was cool, but I had just came back from California. Didn't know what I was going to do. Had to get a little job and take care of my family, my little business, or whatever. And I let him hear the tape, man, and it was like, wow, man, that's, you know, who is that? I said, that's me. So he kept playing it. He kept rewinding it. It's just 3 songs. And I was like, well, I'm glad you enjoyed it. And so I stopped it, and he said, no, play it again. So I played it again. He says, hey, man, is it cool if I keep this tape? I said, no problem, man. Hey, I'm putting a band together, man. You think you might be interested? I said, sure, man. Here's my number. Give me a call, man. If I don't hear from you anymore, man, that's cool. It's just good meeting you. So I took off. About a week or 2 later, man, this guy calls.
Now, who's this that called?
Devontae.
Oh, Devontae.
He calls me, and I'm like, it's like 3 or 4 in the morning. My grandmother was asleep. The phone was in her room, grandma and grandpa's room. So I'm over in my room in my little studio working it out, getting songs done and stuff, and doing my thing. And she, my grandma said, Michael? I said, yeah. And she said, telephone, somebody on the phone want to talk to you named Devontae. I said, who? Devontae. I was like, oh, Devontae. So I grabbed the phone and said, hey, what's going on? We're talking, wrapping it up and stuff. He said, hey, man, I'm getting ready to get started, man. You still interested? I need you to come. So me and Tricky, Derek Fromby, we drove to New Jersey, Queen Anne Road, and that's the beginning of how we got together. And I've been with them ever since, man. I did a stint with them a long time, the records, and that's how we got started, man. We instantly matched. It was magic. It just happened. No rehearsal, no, hey, let's go over this. It just happened. It was meant, and the rest is history, and the world is, that's what you're hearing now, I did all the talk box stuff, all the vocoder stuff, like the Rogers type of stuff, and other little ideas and stuff like that, but just to clear that up so everybody know, what do you do with Jodeci? That is what I do. That's what I did, and
How long
all
were
the
you
live
with
show.
them?
Man, about 23 years. Yeah, Cry For You was what 20? Oh, shit, they had an anniversary of that song. I think it was 20-something years old, and I looked at that, man. I was like, man.
So how old were you when you got started?
I was started when I was born. I got started when I came here, when I was, when my mother.
No, I'm talking about with
Oh, you mean
Jodeci.
music? Oh, yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
How old was I? I had to be about 26. Yeah, when I started with them, and it was an awesome and wonderful time in my life, in my musical career, and I just really appreciate Devontae and the cats for letting me come in and do what it is that I do. Never had a restriction, never told what to do, never nothing. When I came in the room, they walked out, let me do my thing. I had 100% pure freedom to be me on those records. So what you're hearing when you hear those records, that's from my soul, to the world. Because with me, when I do a record or doing things, man, everything I play, I make sure it's concrete, and I'm only gonna do it once. They used to call it one take Jake, just one time. So when you hear that, that's what came out of my soul, one time, and the rest is it goes to the store and people go buy it, and then they come see us, just one time. That's all I need. You know what I'm saying? Let me hear what you're doing. Okay, we're done. I gotta go. And that's how I get down.
So tell me 3 highlights of being with Jodeci.
Oh my God, man! 3 highlights. The Arsenio Hall show.
Oh.
The Hammer tour.
Oh, MC Hammer?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, okay.
Hammer Don't Hurt Him tour. You know what I'm saying? And the ending of us. The last show.
The last show. Where was the last show?
It was in Nassau, Long Island.
New York.
It was incredible. And that night, it was very eerie. Casey had, I played with a long time. Casey had never gotten hoarse, and I'm like 30 feet up in the air, and I got a cage up under my feet. I could look down and see them under the stage before they come out the thing. And he's like, Michael Jackson. I'm like, what? You know what I'm saying? It's loud, before the show. He says, hey man, what kind of horse? I said, well, I guess this is the end of it. I said, because you've never been hoarse. And that was actually the final show that we all did together as that magical unit. I felt it. I felt it was over. And it was an awesome show, but it was just, I just went through the motions. But we got down like we do. I mean, we do that in our sleep, but I felt it. It was done. The magic was over, you know, and I knew. And from that point, it was never the same again. You know what I'm saying? And everybody just, you know, after that gig, we all just went home and, wow. But I kept doing stuff with them through the years periodically. You know, I moved from Akron to Las Vegas. We did a lot of out of the country shows. 2006, we went back overseas. 2009.
Where'd you go overseas?
Oh man, London, Paris.
How you received over there?
Like kings. Like kings. You know what I'm saying? It's an awesome thing when you go to another place that you've never been before. Kind of like, a culture shock. But they know you. They know everybody. Everybody's like a superhero in the band. Even not just the four guys, but even the guys in the swing mob, the band. We were like Marvel characters to them. And that's how they received us, And they respected what we'd done. And they waited, and they patiently waited. And we gave it to them, Wembley, you know what I'm saying? We played everywhere. We even played dance hall rooms, and it was beautiful, I think one night we even did a club one night. It was a very small stage with, people all around your head and up on the rafter things. It was incredible, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, I don't like people to be too close to me, at all. But at that moment, it didn't matter, because I just felt their energy, and it was like, wow, man. These people watching me get down, doing it. They notice it's not fake, They notice, because we sounded so good, But that was to highlight, and like I said, but oh man, it's so much. I don't even know if we had time for me to tell you the whole thing, but I enjoyed myself, and it was just, I still sometimes sit back, man, and vibe on that, and that keeps me going. To know that I didn't waste my time, waste my youth. I did something, and that's all thanks to Devontae and the cats, I appreciate them,
So tell me about your experience with Mary J. Blige.
Oh, well, she used to open for us back then, and we just played behind her and did her stuff as well, man. She's the greatest person to work for. And I really,
what makes her so good to work for?
She's a sweet person. She's very kind, you know what I'm saying? And she's always very kind to me, you know what I'm saying? And very respectful and attentive and always willing to learn things, And I did Saturday Night Live with her. John Goodman was the host, and we did Reminisce and Sweet Thing live. And, we also did the Unplugged thing with Jodeci, Mary, Father MC, Christopher Williams, and God rest his soul, Heavy D and the Boys. Yeah, so that was a big highlight. It's like our Motown, Uptown Records, MCA, but that was our Motown, and we played behind every act, the swing mob, and that was one time, no edits, no nothing. Everything you seen was straight across the board. Yeah, in that game when we get our thing together, there's no room for mistakes. It's all now. And when we're done, you know what I'm saying? That's how we roll, And I love that. That was the one thing I loved, that I was a part of something so intricate and so accurate, you know what I'm saying? So dead on. Everybody's mind was on what they were doing, no joking around. It's business. We were having a ball, but it was business, just as professional could get. Everybody was at the top of their game, And that's another highlight. I was surrounded by some great players, great guys, great personalities, and we all had love for one another, camaraderie, cohesiveness.
And last but not least, tell me about the Gap Band.
Oh man, Gap. Yeah, I got a chance, man. I got blessed to work with Mr. Ronnie Wilson. Charlie wasn't there, but just recently here. Our last gig we just did was New Year's Eve of this.
This past New Year's Eve?
Yeah.
Where?
Yeah. We were in Boardwalk. Where's
Atlantic
that?
City?
Atlantic City. Yeah, I can't remember sometime. But we were there, and that was
Sweet.
That was sweet, man. I did a few gigs with them, and that by far to date is my favorite job ever. And I really love working with Ronnie. He's awesome person, very nice guy, and just just about his business, But he, once again, him like all the others, they let me come in and do what I do, and that's when you get the best out of me. It's just just tell me what you want, and I'll do my best to give you that and more. You know what I'm saying? So that was awesome to work with that. I don't know if we got any more gigs coming up in the future. I haven't heard anything thus far, but that's the best gig that I've ever had in my life, man. The Gap Band.
Better than Jodeci?
Not better than Jodeci. It's just I got a chance.
If you got to rank them, 1, 2, 3, how would you rank them?
Gap Band 1, Jodeci 2.
And Mary 3.
And Mary 3, yeah. But I just I'm all things funk. You know what I'm saying?
So tell that very good, Michael. That leads me to the question about why do you believe that the funk to push for the Funk Music Hall of Fame and Exhibition Center is so important?
Well, just my take on it and how I feel. I mean, funk and funk period is not just music. It's a lifestyle. It's a way of life. It's a religion to me. It is my church, And thanks to George Clinton, James Brown, and anybody that was ever funky, but them two right there, I got a chance to meet and hang out with James Brown, and I also got a chance to meet and hang out with George Clinton, a couple of times to meet him, But just all things funk, man. I mean, that music moves my soul, you know what I'm saying? And I'm able to do that and move people. I move everybody in the crowd without putting my hands on them, you know what I'm saying? All at one time, everybody back and forth. But it's all on the one, you know what I'm saying? Everybody at the same time. And I like that. I like watching them. I just like to see the look on their face, because they don't know when you come out, like, what they gonna sound like, But when we get to hitting, you know what I'm saying? And I promise to bring that. Anytime you see me with anybody, it's gonna be some funk there. I must give you that. You know what I'm saying? That's what's in me. No matter, I don't care if I'm playing country, to rock or whatever. It's gonna be some funk in there somewhere to groove you. But like I said, a lot of the cats that inspired me, man, that I got a chance to, were blessed. They're now gone now. Roger Troutman, my number one. Joni Morrison, Barney Worrell, and Ronnie Wilson, of course. These cats, man, are just, that in their music they kept funk as the forefront, and they won. And George Clinton, which is the father of funk, oh man, it's hard to put in words, man. I just have to do it. You know what I'm saying?
Who are you mentoring?
Whoever watching, whoever comes to the gigs and checks it out, I mentor whoever. You can be whoever, as long as you, are faithful to your craft and, believe and respect what it is that we do. I'll mentor you, you know what I'm saying? But you got to be serious about it, or it's just something, or to me, you're just hanging out, and I don't have a lot of time for hanging out, pretty much,
What are 3 things that you would, anybody that was interested in the music business and especially the funk, what would you suggest to them that they need to know or be about the business of?
Well, first things first, well, first thing is, you gotta, you should know how to play first, for real. You know what I'm saying? Not, because I'm picking at it. My mom said I was good, and I'm going to go out here and embarrass myself. Don't do that. That's one. And the second thing, which really is the first thing, along with studying music, make sure you know the business, and always read contract from the beginning to the end, front to back, twice. You know what I'm saying? And if you don't understand or comprehend, you know, call a lawyer, but you got to do that anyway. But make sure your business is handled up front so that you won't get shortchanged out here, you know what I'm saying? Especially if you have, if you got the goods and folks is wanting it, you know, you got to have your business together so you won't wind up, you know, like most of musicians with nothing. You know, so that's one thing. Well, that's two. And man, wow. You know, I guess that kind of sums it up. You know, I don't really know what else to tell anybody. It's like, you know, and just believe in what you do, and don't let nobody steer you to the left or the right, man. If you believe in what you're doing, go for that. You know what I'm saying? Don't be discouraged if things don't happen all fast, because it doesn't work that way. Sometimes it might, but you know, no matter what, man, you have to stay focused, and you gotta keep going no matter what, man. You have to believe in you. Nobody else is gonna if they don't see that. So, you know, that's where it is.
A question, as a keyboardist, that's what you are, how do you contract in the business world of who you play with, who you don't play with, and how is that contractual, and what are your the business end of being a keyboardist?
Okay.
So so how does that come about?
It goes a little something like this. My phone, it rings, and I say, hello, and they say blah, 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 and okay, well, what are you doing? Okay, well, what's the ticket, you know? What's this gig paying, you know? Okay, well, that's cool, but I'm gonna need this to do this. Okay, well, then I'll have some stuff drawn up and have it sent. You fax it back, and then you know, handle business. You know, me personally, I like to get paid up front before I make a move, before I leave my house, if possible, you understand? And then after that, you know, I'm all yours for so many hours, and then I'm gone, you know, and then the next move, and if we got a tour set up, you know, I'd like to get at least half of that up front, you know. And oh, one more thing I tell people, there is no such thing as the back end. It doesn't exist. It's a door into the abyss. So don't fall for, I'm gonna get you on the back end. That's not real. So, you know, for people that are in the business and, you know, hearing that, I will say that it's a farce. You know, so that's that. But as far as anything else, I mean, it's simple business. It's business 101. You pay me, I play for you. When I'm done, I'm out. You know, if we got a schedule or a tour, I prefer having a schedule. You know, dates. You know, you can take care of your business, pay your bills, and do all your stuff. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, just, you know, the one night hitter quitters, one hit quit. You know, we work it out. But just, you know, but once again, you have to be in position to be able to demand that. You know what I'm saying? Your gift, speaks for itself. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, and anymore, I don't even do any talking to anybody. I have management and people that, you know, you can call me all day long. I'll talk to you and crack a joke or something, but I need you to call this number. And then they'll tell you, which, you know, now I'm just the musician and not the bad guy. You know what I'm saying? You know, but it's, it's like this. This is one more thing I share. You know, if you got Yugo money and you walk up to a Bentley car lot, you know, they're gonna send you across the street to go over to get that Yugo. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. That's what it is, you know. It's all about what you can afford, you know what I'm saying? And that's how you get the best of the best, you know.
So Micheal Christopher Jackson, MCJ.
Yeah. Yeah.
What are you doing now? What's on your plate right now?
I'm working on a movie, a film right now. A friend of mine is doing a life story, and we're trying to get that together right now. And I think Netflix is interested in it, so that's what I'm doing now. And just still sitting back, just coming up with ideas and putting things together, and just seeing what goes from there. You know, we'll see what happens. You know, but that's what I'm doing right now, and that's taking up a lot of my time. You know, piecing that together. We're gonna do a how would you? It's a audible movie. You know, it's not the first time it's been done, but the way I'm gonna do it is gonna be pretty spectacular. You know, it's gonna be beautiful. You know what I'm saying? And when I get done with it, I'll shoot you a copy so you can check it out. You'll enjoy.
You think? MCJ, I think now I've developed you, I've given you my own personal nickname, MCJ.
That's right, that's me.
And so the movie, how long will it take to do this?
I have no idea.
Are you doing the soundtrack?
I'm doing, yeah, all of it. I'm in charge of that, you know.
You're producer?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm producing it, so, you know, I have no idea. I'm just actually.
Are you writing?
Yeah, oh yeah.
You're writing the movie?
Mm-hmm. Not the movie, but the score.
The score.
Yeah, I'm writing that, so it's not gonna take me too long, you know. I'm looking at maybe a couple months, you know what I'm saying, and things should be out, hopefully, or at least close to being out by the end of the year.
Okay.
You know,
so you have actors and.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we got all that stuff. You know, just depends on the budgeting and all that stuff. And you know, if nothing gets held up with that, everything is all a go. You know?
So because I know you like to be one take. So.
Take, man.
So tell me, where's your home base now, MCJ?
Well, I don't really have a home base. I'm bouncing around a lot. You know what I'm saying? You know, from here to there, I'm always, you know. A lot of times I'm in L.A., either New York or.
I guess I'm going to ask, where's your voting address?
Oh, my voting address?
I mean, not your address. That's yours. What city is?
I live in Virginia. Yeah,
really?
Yeah, Virginia. Yeah.
What
Sometimes
part?
I stay in Virginia. Virginia Beach.
Okay.
Yeah, sometimes I stay in Virginia Beach. Sometimes L.A. Sometimes wherever. You know, Africa, Sweden.
Oh no. Okay, that brings up the question I got to ask now. What, of all the places you traveled, what countries were your, if you could go back and tour, where would they be?
Amsterdam.
Amsterdam.
Mm-hmm. I like that place.
What's special about Amsterdam?
The vibe.
The vibe.
Mm-hmm. I like that place a lot, you know what I'm saying? And I also like Paris. And London, I could live in London, you know what I'm saying? That's a cool place, you know. I fit in these places, these outer places. I like Germany, you know, I like all those spots, you know what I'm saying?
But Amsterdam's number one.
Amsterdam's number one.
Oh, well, let me just bring you back to national. Where in the United States do you like?
L.A.
L.A.
Yeah, that's my spot. You know. LA.
Well, what is unique about what is unique about L.A. that when it comes down to the music vibe?
Well, it ain't about the music with me. I mean, because I am the music. You know, so I carry that anywhere I go. If I was down the street over here, you know, I'm gonna be that.
Excuse me.
I mean, you know what I'm saying.
I got you.
You know what I'm saying.
I got you.
But I just like the sun, the ocean, and you know, just hanging out. You know what I'm saying there, and you really see how insignificant you really are when you're around all of that. You know, and it's like, who cares? And you can just be you. No one's paying you any attention. And I like that, just to do my thing.
And to come from a Midwestern city like Akron, Ohio, is what they could actually say is when you're in L.A., you get a chance to breathe.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
I'm free.
You get a chance to breathe. I understand that.
I can be me.
I understand that.
Yeah, I can be
Mike.
Yeah.
I really like participating in this show and about the Funk Music Hall of Fame and Exhibition Center. And one of the things that I hope that somewhere along the line you would be able to donate something to us for this museum.
Oh, yes.
Promote us. And, you know, I know what a perfectionist you are.
Yes.
I've already picked that up.
Yeah.
But somewhere during, as we proceed in our programming and do the education piece, that maybe you could find some time to do a workshop for some of the young people in music.
I would be more than glad to do that.
Because I just think that to have that flair of an attitude, MCJ.
Yeah.
I like that. That flair of attitude, and I like the fact that one take.
That's right.
And and go and kids need to see, or any musician needs to see. Strive for that perfection.
You dedicate your life to excellence.
Yes.
You take a vow. I mean, it's, you know,
I can feel you.
Man.
I can feel you. And I just find that so exciting. And I just want, you know, and David Webb, who is our president, CEO of all of this, you know, he has that drive and that passion to make sure that we get this done.
It's going to get done.
And we're going to get it done.
Yeah.
And people like you and poor little people like me, we're going to keep trying to keep this on the forefront because it is so important to continue our history.
Yes, it does.
Funk music is our history.
It belongs to us.
It belongs to us, and we need to promote it. And when you have one take MCJ over here, it just makes it so exciting. And I just want to thank you so much today, Micheal Christopher Jackson.
Thank you.
My personal MCJ.
That's right.
This is Rhine McLin, host of the Music Hall of Fame and Exhibition Center's award-winning show, Funk Chronicles. Talk back. Until the next time, keep it funky.
If you were faced with him in all his glory, what would you ask if you had just one?